YouTube, what is up? Welcome to the video. Gloomy day out, a little rainy out today, but that's not gonna stop us. Outside the gym, about to get this lift started. Gonna be a pull focus workout today. So kind of some upper body hypertrophy. These days have been super fun. So with the lower body speed and power days, and then having these push and pull days, training's been awesome because bodybuilding the upper, getting nice and juicy, getting strong, getting jacked, getting good pumps, and then lower body, getting athletic, jumping higher, sprinting, all that. It's been fun. So I'm super stoked for this lift. We'll get into it. Prior to the lift, I took some of these nitric oxide, which is vasodilator, increases blood flow to the muscles. I took it yesterday. Felt really good during the push day. My chest was expanding. Probably grew 2 cup sizes during that workout. Man. So let's hope the back does the same thing today. But if you're interested in that, Transparent Labs, code Dylan saves 10%. But anyways, let's get into it. All right, so getting into the session, starting off with some pull-ups here. Got to start with your compound movement. Overhand pull-ups. I've been in my chin up or neutral grip phase, but kind of going this overhand grip. Been liking it. Feels a little better in my forearm. So here I did 6 sets, 8-8, 6-6, 5-5. So with every 2 sets, you're going down in reps, so up in weight. So I did 75% of my 1 rep max for the 8s, 80% for the 6s, and 82.5 for the 5s. So when you're doing a 1 rep max for your pull-ups and you're calculating it, make sure you factor in your body weight. So I'm using like a 1 rep max of like 320. So I'm 195 plus 125 added pounds. And when you calculate that by 75, you get like 245. So subtract your body weight, that's what you add, 45 pounds. But if you were to just do it where, say, I just did 125 and multiply that by 0.75, you get a much higher percentage. So make sure you add in your body weight if you're calculating your percentages with that, because that will help a lot. So 6 sets there, and then got into a barbell row here. So my barbell rows, I've been going a little heavier and probably using a little too much momentum. Now, on a row, obviously using a little momentum is fine. Like, that's the whole purpose of it. It's a compound movement, really squeezing. As long as you're not crashing that chest to the bar, you want to think about pulling it kind of towards that belly button and raising with the weight, as opposed to bringing the chest to meet the bar and getting a full range of motion. But these felt really good. 275, did 4 sets at 8 here. Was moving the weight pretty well. Felt it a lot in my back. And when you hit those 2 compound movements, those chin-ups and those rows, you're going to build a meaty back. I mean, that's just going to demolish your lats, your rear delts, your upper back, your traps. It's just a builder right there. And then I like doing, so going from those heavy rows into a chest supported row. So love doing a chest supported row, whether it's with dumbbells or a T-bar, just being a little more strict, obviously, because you can't use momentum. You're locked in there and just getting a big full range of motion. On these, really thinking at the bottom of the rep, pulling it, letting me pull as far down the bottom and then big squeeze at the top. Did 4 sets, 8 to 10 there, and then got into some trap and rear delt work. So this has been something new I've been implementing, is doing some more, now that I'm doing more of like a bodybuilding split with my upper body, I have more time to throw in some kind of like isolation stuff for like my traps, my rear delts that maybe I haven't done a ton of in the past. So been doing these seated shrugs, which I really enjoy. Reason I'm just seated, again, just a little more strict with it. Can't really use any momentum. You're locked in there. And then I have straps on these because, and with any back movement, besides pull-ups, I pretty much use straps because I'm not losing my grip as a pride thing. Use straps. Straps are great for you, especially on pulling movements, RDLs. That's how you build a strong back and a strong hamstrings, is with those straps. So did 15 on the shrugs, trying to pause for a second on the top, and then paired that with a face pull here. So face pull, trying to pull to that eye level, and then squeezing at the top there. So these face pulls really gonna hit rear delts, your traps a little bit, kind of blow up your upper back with this superset. Did 4 rounds there. And I'll tell you what, traps and rear delts were smoked after that. I like this rope a little bit. It's a little longer, so I can get a little range of motion. But really trying to pull right to my eye level there and squeezing at the top. And then we got into the biceps time, baby. So did here just a classic barbell curl. So using the easy bar, I actually did a wider grip than I typically do. Usually I'd go that inside grip or more if it's a narrow grip. But I was like, you know what? Got to change it up a little bit. Try a little wide grip here. Felt great, and I'm glad I did it. 4 sets, 8 to 10. Just some classic curls. You can't beat it. Can't beat a good bicep pump. Look at the faces. We're digging in, baby, for that. But 4 sets, 8 to 10 there. Nice heavy curl. And then the last exercise, I just did a preacher curl here. So kind of the same thing with the back. I did kind of a heavier compound movement where I'm using maybe a little bit of momentum, and then I get locked in and do more of an isolation. So Preacher curl is obviously great. Can't really use any swing or any part of your body locked in there. And I like this single arm variation. You can really just isolate one arm at a time, get a nice good contraction there, end up doing 4 sets of 12 each side there. So in total, good back workout. Did those pull-ups, 6 sets, 4 sets of the barbell rows, 4 sets of the chest supported dumbbell rows, 4 sets of that seated shrug, supersetted with 4 sets of Facepulls, and then finished with 4 sets of easy bar curls, and then 4 sets of a single arm preacher curl. So good amount of volume there, but pump felt good. So these sessions have been awesome. Been enjoying these kind of more bodybuilding, push and pull focused sessions. Really getting a lot out of them, and I'm really excited. Seeing some good stuff, feeling some good pumps. It's just fun to change it up every now and then and kind of have a little bit new of a routine. So these are really good. Biceps felt like they're going to pop at the end, but that's a sign of a good session. If you can't touch your thumb to your shoulder after, that means you got a good arm pump there. All right, we are back at the gym, conditioning time. So this is pretty low intensity aerobic conditioning. So I'm just going to pop on the bike erg and go for about 50 minutes. So these days I've been implementing in the middle of the week on Wednesdays as a way to get some aerobic steady state conditioning, kind of sitting in like, I haven't really been using heart rate, just kind of based off feel, but I actually got a new watch. I've been wearing a Whoop, but my Whoop's kind of low and consistent with the heart rate, so this watch, I'm excited to see. So I'm gonna try to sit there in like that aerobic, like 80%, below 80% of my heart rate, so like 155 around there, but essentially just a steady output throughout. So these are good to do, although like my main focus is speed and power and strength. Having a good aerobic system, just like a really robust aerobic engine, super important for that because it allows you to recover in between those high intensity bouts quicker, and it's just good for overall recovery. Like having a good aerobic system, building that capacity, work capacity is super important. You can handle more. I think that helps a lot too by training. Just middle of the week I filled in Wednesday, so Monday I did my speed and lower, Tuesday I did a push and tempo runs, and now today I did a pull and miss, and then tomorrow I'm gonna go back to speed and lower. And obviously I don't want to do anything that's too taxing on my legs because I want to get high outputs tomorrow, but I want to get some aerobic work in. So I've been playing around with the ergs. I'll do the rower, ski erg, the bike erg, but today I'm just gonna go bike erg for the whole time, see how far we can get, and just progress it by like 5 minutes week by week. So again, having a good aerobic system is super beneficial even for power and speed. Now, you don't have to do a ton, like you don't have to turn into an endurance athlete in that standpoint, but having a good base and doing it maybe once weekly can have some good benefits. Also just good for overall recovery and everything. But we'll pop on the bike, probably watch a podcast while I do it, and let's get into it. All right, just reached 50 minutes. I'm just gonna go for 60 minutes. I feel good. So yeah, some aerobic conditioning. It's not too taxing. Like my heart rate's sitting like 150, 155. So just maintaining this output for 50 to 60 minutes, get some aerobic conditioning. But again, nothing too crazy or too taxing where it's gonna interfere with tomorrow's training. Because obviously tomorrow you wanna run fast, jump high, lift heavy weights. But again, aerobic conditioning would be great. Even if your main goal, like mine is power, speed, interval training, it can help complement that. You build a larger aerobic base, you have a lower resting heart rate, you can recover quicker in between those high intensity bouts when you're doing your sprints, when you're doing heavy lifting, all that stuff. So it can help complement your speed, power, strength work. Obviously an excessive amount might interfere a little bit, but most people don't really have to worry about that unless you're training for like an Ironman or a marathon. So for the most part, get your aerobic conditioning in. Again, it's not the worst thing in the world. It's a little boring. I'm sitting here watching a podcast, but it's good to do. Helps complement training. Just finished that little zone 2 aerobic work. 60 minutes on the bike. Not too bad at all. Nice good sweat, some good aerobic work. I always spoke on the importance of it, but now in the infrared sauna, debating what I want. Usually I do a little contrast. I'll go here for like 15, 20 minutes, cold plunge for 2 minutes, usually do 2 rounds, but I might just go sauna for 15 to 30 minutes and then plunge just 1 round. Cause I don't know, I'm feeling kind of cold today, so I kind of just want to sit in the sauna. But maybe just do 1 round. We'll see how we go. But I've just been crushing this podcast, which is awesome. Whole bike ride, also listen to a podcast, Coach 'em Up podcast, if you're ever interested, great podcast. Mike Israel's on it. Just a wealth of knowledge. Just consuming knowledge, getting some cardio in. Can't beat it. Now sitting in the sauna. Yeah, we'll get in the next part. All right, it's the next day now. Just finished a speed session, actually. Felt really fast today, so that's good. Legs were feeling good after that bike session. So again, kind of organizing the training. We're getting a little bit of everything throughout the week, but one day's not infringing on the next day. So super fun. Love this style of training I've been doing, where it's lifting heavy, bodybuilding, sprinting, conditioning, just throwing everything in there, and then seeing how to tweak it week by week. I think I found the perfect balance, so I'm really excited for that. But we'll wrap the video up here. Just be consistent, work hard, throw the cliche terms because they're true as always. I think sometimes people forget that working hard is probably the biggest part of the battle. Like, they get so caught up in the most optimal exercises or exercise selection or angles, or should I be doing this, should I be doing that? Well, he told me I should do this other person told me I should be doing that. And believe me, I'm guilty of it too. Sometimes I see it online, I'm like, well, should I be doing that? And then I think sometimes you just got to go back. Like, at the end of the day, you're yourself. Like, something that might work for someone else might not work for you, you know? Just because someone says it's the perfect exercise to do doesn't mean you have to do it. So I think at the end of the day, it's just working hard. You know, you're never gonna have the perfect game plan. You're never gonna have the perfect workout routine, perfect this and that. But you can always work hard. You can always bust your butt. You know, I hear it all the time, and I say it all the time, but like, you can have the most optimal program, most optimal workout routine written out, but if you go in and half-ass that, as opposed to someone who's just like, goes in, loves training, works their butt off, they're gonna make way better results, just because the love of the game. And that's another huge important factor. You should enjoy your training. Like, yeah, there's gonna be parts of it you dread and that you don't want to do, but the majority of it, I think you should enjoy. You should love doing it, and if you love it, man, you'll stop caring really about these small incremental, and you'll just see these huge changes over time, and it's well worth it. So just fall in love with the training. And I know it's, you know, maybe if you're newer to training or something, or you're getting into it, but find stuff you like and gradually build that over time, or maybe sprinkle more stuff you like in there, because I think that keeps you coming back, and that's gonna, that feedback, and you keep coming back, wanting more and more and more. And I think that's a cool thing about exercise. Exercise at the end of the day, it's hard work. It's not easy. I mean, if it was easy, everyone would be in shape, or everyone would have this. And you know, it takes a lot of time, a lot of patience, and requires a lot of effort. But it's so cool that people bust their ass one day and they're like, I'm gonna do that again the next day, and then the next day, and the next day. So it's obviously rewarding. I love watching like other people who are into fitness and stuff do that, because it's really cool, like, to work hard and to do it again and again and again and again. So that's the beauty of it. That's why we love getting after it day in and day out, and bringing that to it. So, you know, it's better to be consistently good than occasionally great. Don't get too caught up in the perfect program, because, you know, I've been guilty of it in this past week, and that's why I'm talking about it. It's because, you know, I've had like a cheat meal, and what ends up happening is I get so obsessed over it, and I'm like, oh, that's who I am. Okay, I have one bad cheat meal, I'm like, that's who I am, I'm a failure. And then without looking back on my stack of proof, where it's like, okay, well, that's your first cheat meal in this amount of days, you've been 27 of your last 28 meals have been good, or something like that. So I think, you know, it's something that I've been trying to be better at, and I started making this chart to kind of track it, to remind myself of that, because you're never gonna be perfect. You can never have the perfect plan. Life's gonna throw a curveball. So just being better at that and handling that has been something I want to do in my life, because, you know, holding yourself to be perfect, you're never gonna accomplish it, and it's just gonna lead to, that's gonna be worse than just being consistent. So be consistent, do the little things, work your ass off, because you'll never regret the work. You never regret the work. You go in there, you work out, maybe it wasn't a great workout, you never regret it. No one can take that away from you. You can always work hard. So bust your butt. Obviously, you know, follow a plan, but don't get too overwhelmed by it. If it works, it works. You don't have to change stuff up. So we'll wrap the video up here. You know, I'm gonna try to be better in my life, of being more of being less trying to be perfect, of that mindset, and just accepting things as they come. But I appreciate everyone watching the video as always. Love making these, continue making these. Some big things in the future. I'm super excited for this. This past year has been awesome, and I'm really excited for the future and this growth. So always appreciate the support. through Instagram, through YouTube. Truly means the world. Like, I love this stuff. I'm passionate about this stuff, and to share with other people is, man, that's a life well lived. So again, I appreciate it. But I'll wrap the video up here. If you're interested in any training, hit me up, DM, comments. I have training plans, but besides the point, let's get power jacked, and I will see you in the next one. Let's go.